Dangerous drugs being found on the streets in several communities, and by looking at it, there's no real way of knowing how lethal they are. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Chris Fry. These fake prescription pills are to blame for deaths across Ohio. Investigator Kelly Kennedy with this 19 Solutions story explaining the crackdown on knockoff meds.
I do believe that Junior wanted me to do this. He wanted me to be a voice for him because he wasn't a junkie, he wasn't an addict.
This was 18-year-old David Schmego Jr. from North Royalton, and this was 23-year-old Mateo Omaragic from Coventry Township. The two young men have one thing in common. They both lost their lives when they took half of what they thought was a legitimate prescription pill.
And then there was no other drugs in his system. He did dabble, with experimenting and stuff, but nowadays kids can't even experiment because It's not the same.
In 2023, the Drug Enforcement Administration seized over 79 million fake pills. That's up 33% from 2022.
The DEA right now has a focus on the Sinaloa and cartel Jalisco New Generation CJ&G cartels. We're utilizing all our resources to target those two cartels because they are the biggest driving factors of these pills.
Thomas Gerge is the assistant special agent in charge with the Cleveland DEA. He says Frankenstein opioids like nitazines and veterinary tranquilizers like xylazine are killing more people across the U.S. He says nitazines are Narcan resistant, meaning it usually takes several doses. But xylazine is another story.
They're only approved for veterinary use. The problem with it is xylazines are not from the opioid family, so Narcan does nothing.
How does it make you feel that drug dealers are passing these pills off as legitimate prescription pills?
It's reckless, and even if you look at it from a business standpoint, what do you benefit from killing your customers?
It's a question Agent Gerge gets often.
Actually, they're driving demand, which is crazy to even talk about, right? It's the only drug out there that if an individual dies, all the other addicts that might know that individual is going to try to figure out where they got it. They're always trying to chase that first high.
One of the biggest things the DEA is trying to combat is the sale of pill presses. They're legal and easy to find online. One thing the DEA has succeeded in is getting Amazon and Etsy to ban the sale of pill presses.
We've had some cases here in Cleveland where we've located them. They can push out thousands of pills in a matter of hours. And getting the binding material, by the way, it's extremely cheap to get that. They can get that off the dark web, and they're basically just mixing it in their basements.
Pill presses are regulated under the Controlled Substances Act, which means online shops are required to report the sales to the DEA.
But a lot of these criminals don't make the notifications. I know there's right now a big push in Congress and with the DEA to have a lot of these online stores be held accountable.
The DEA is also tracking dealers who sell these pills on the dark web.
We set up storefronts in a way, or as customers, to make these purchases.
Over in Lake County, the narcotics agency isn't just focused on enforcement. Director Pat Hanks says they have a program called Project Connect, where they help addicts connect with mental health resources.
We try to bridge the gap between clinicians and mental health providers and addicts out on the street because obviously we're in a unique position where we encounter addicts on a regular basis.
And for these heartbroken families, it's a battle they will never stop fighting.
I'm livid. If there was a plane that had 300 souls on board and that plane crashed every day and all 300 died every day, I think there'd be an outcry, wouldn't you think? I'd like to get some of these laws changed so that they really actually go after the drug dealers themselves.
It's so dangerous, and even if it saves one person, it's worth it to me.
Kelly Kennedy, 19 News.